I guess I have to start off the broadcast with an apology. I'm sorry, T Governor.
No.
You know, Blitz just sometimes get a little jealous
No.
when he sees me casting with someone else.
It's fine. He had one minor success in some North American qualifier. You know, the easier region for sure. Whoop-de-woo. Had to cancel it because he had to do the casting gig and not actually try and make a real run. Where's the confidence, please? Get out of here. Look at him. He's walking away now. Go hide back in the green room. Stick to the casting. I can't. That's me done.
Oh, Paul was having a good time with that one. We so Blitz saw us, and we were obviously going a little wild. You and I were on the same game page, which was we. Paul, were you the one to say Viper?
He was. Yeah,
well done.
he was.
I mean, he said Viper, and both of us are like, no, that's not what they need. That's not what they need in their lineup.
The way that I see this draft is. It's a King Gaming Classic. They got their Razor.
Yeah.
The Batrider's a great counter to the double melees, like the Trolls, the Monkeys. Batrider naturally counters them both. They're going to be able to play aggressive. So how I saw it was they want this like Lycan hero. They want to be able to like assert this dominance and take the base.
Yeah, you want something like you've already won the fight.
Yeah.
Now,
what are we doing?
What are you doing next?
So
what objectives are you taking?
So
Viper's not that.
No.
It doesn't secure the late game. It doesn't secure you objectives.
No.
He's just another fight winner.
He just exists. So he's gonna maybe buy Greaves. He's gonna buy Greaves. That's what we're probably given. Your Razor's maybe gonna go like a Drums BKB. Sure, they might have a good 25 minutes of fighting if it's going well.
Yeah.
But the Razor then might have to go Axe. The Brew eventually. Sure, he can also start taking buildings later on if he ever gets to the point of the split cooldown or whatever. But this Viper pick is. It's just.
You feel like it's wild, and Paul just nailed it.
He's an absolute god of the draft. Honestly, he's going to shuffle
here
down
with
by
such
one.
confidence. Oh, that's not what they need. That's not what King needs in their last pick at all.
Like, yeah, and that one is this one. Like, he's nailed it.
All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. Old Chicken on the Viper with Dark and Kaka sitting here. They are going to give this a good old core Batrider position, which was another like kind of weird situation that Keen set up, where is it going to be a support Batrider? Are we talking about a core Brew? Vice versa. Nice toss back there from Yapzor. Finds the opening on this Brewmaster. He just runs into the trees where he knows the supports are going to be hanging out, finds the toss opportunity. That's first blood for Nisha.
I think Keen's logic, though, is like they know they're playing against Secret, and Secret's a very good team. So if they can pick these lane winners and then close out the map and then force Secret to play this recovery game, then sure, they can make more mistakes because they've got the early lead. But then they just give away first blood like this, it's kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah, like when you have such a, what I would say is like kind of fragile game plan, it's like it's going to go away very quickly. And every single death like this that is making it so the laning phase is more and more won by Secret, it just means your lineup's not going to go anywhere. They may still be able to find Kaka's. Yapzor's just going to stick on top of him long enough for the impale. Long range from Puppey to nail the second kill for Team Secret.
I like the idea of the draft, getting the Brew and then put it onto the 5. But normally a Brew 5, you just want to slow a game where you can pull, get your early level, and then make use of the tome and get the 6 and go and make something happen. Yeah. I think this type of play where you got an aggro, a defensive tri-lane with a Brew, and a Viper, it does feel a little bit clunky.
They may just kill each one of these heroes one by one, as now they're going for Old Chicken. They finish him off too. That is all 3 members of this defensive tri-lane from Keen Gaming dying. And you could see these supports just don't really do anything. I mean, I had my frustration. Remember when Brew was first coming out as a 5? That hero was so annoying. And he was annoying because you were playing solo off lane, and he would just run at you and crit you and stuff. In a try versus try, he does not do a whole lot.
Pretty redundant. It's like the same as the PSG game earlier. They had an IO Disruptor Bloodseeker defensive tri-lane against, I think it was like a Sven, Willow, and Rubik or something. And it's like, if you think about those two on map, like on paper, in what world does the I1 ever work?
Nice. Lead up with the impale. They managed to get the toss back into the tower range, which is going to make the difference here. Almost killing Dark. Not quite, though.
I just don't know what Keen are doing in this tri-lane.
Yeah.
It's just kind of perplexing. I feel even if they, like the Batrider, maybe when he gets his level 3, you could easily shift the support down there, open up that by getting a couple kills, maybe skipping the wave, maybe trying to take an early tower, and then freeing up top lane. But I just think the damage done by feeding this secret tri-lane might be a little bit too much to be able to leave it so easily.
There are some, I guess I want to identify some small mechanical things that I don't really think are the reason you should pick Viper, but he does have this break mechanic, which is going to be okay versus Pango and Troll, especially Monkey King, right? Because he can't actually get up Jingu stacks inside of that. Good use of the Spike Carapace, trying to turn around some damage and go on to Tiny here, but the Whirling Axis makes it difficult for them to finish up Yapzor, and Yapzor instead is just going to be able to get the Nyx assassin, goes for the secondary kill, just runs in Old Chicken, gives him the toss back. The Impale follow-up, long-range damage from Troll actually gives up on that kill. And now it's going to be maybe the Tiny trading out for Dark. Dark actually lives, and now Puppy's going to be in trouble. He does have another Impale, so if Old Chicken gets a little bit too far ahead, but Spike Carapace turns around some damage. Kaka unable to get his own Impale out there.
They just have no real damage. Like once they get the Impale, like you have to stand within in the poison to actually take any damage. It's like, yeah, let's just walk around real quick. Like, yeah, I think sure this is just a trade of like awkward kills, but I think it's more important that, like seeing how the Batrider is doing, seeing how the Rage is doing, because this is how Keen's going to come and actually try and take this game.
Yeah, Dark dead again, 5-1. Well, I mean, the way we described Keen's lineup was that they need to be able to win the lanes. They're going to have, I mean, I really like the way you described, they might have like a good 20, 25 minutes of fighting and stuff, and eventually they're just going to run out of steam. Well, with this kind of laning phase, they may not even get to that point.
No, for sure. But again, the only good side you can see from this is because they're constantly running 3 heroes top, Secret also 3 heroes top. So they're sure they're getting the kills, but they're not suddenly running away with XP. The Troll's not still level 4, level 5 that he might be if he was just a dual lanes. So which means then the Razor's going to have a decent time, and the Batrider is also going to have a very decent time. He's still top CS, 21 CS, right?
Yep.
So it might look from like just a spectator perspective, it's like, oh, they're just feeding top, but in reality, they're freeing up this Batrider to have an okay lane.
Yeah. He is definitely up in CS, not by a ton over Zai, but he is winning. Zai is actually 18-2 if he can get the kill here. He does have a flame break, but he bounces him back into the last bit of shots. Old 11 gets the kill. Very nicely done. This is what Keen needed. They need those solo lanes to actually win convincingly. Next step is the Razor actually asserting his dominance over the Monkey King, which he has failed to do so far. The toss back on the Viper here with the Whirling Axes on out. Tiny sitting inside of that Viper, taking damage over time. Old Chicken not able to actually kill anybody here. Nice Impale, actually nailed the 2 of them. Might just help Old Chicken survive until the toss creep finish them off. Now all of these secret heroes are low, but Dark, he can't actually finish them off, so it's going to be all up to Kaka to get at least one of these kills, but the Root comes out. Nisha needs a no, he doesn't need another one. Yapster just turns around, finishes him off with a stun 3 for nothing.
At this point, I want to say Secret's just styling on them. They are.
Yeah.
And also then the Keen just don't have anything to bring to this lane.
Because, I mean, the Razor's not winning mid.
No.
He's supposed to, right?
That's, yeah, it's like Monkey's one of those heroes where he can easily still play the lane. He gets up the 4 stacks, you can still then like force the Razor out. So it's going to be one of those, you're not going to dumpster the Monkey, but the Monkey's not going to be the like forcing you out a lane, making you go jungle. It's just going to be like a trade of farm.
Razor shouldn't be killing him non-stop, but simultaneously Monkey King shouldn't be over him.
When you think about those two heroes, they're both heroes, like the Razor pick naturally should be able to beat these heroes and get kills. Same with Monkey.
Kaka throws Monkey King up in the air, goes underneath him, and tries to run to the safety of the Razor, but he just can't get far enough away. That is a full Jingu stack for Midwan, which will just make the Razor's lane that much harder.
But now Secret are doing that thing where they've got these 2 active supports and now they're running around the map. I don't know how it's going to play out with Nisha still staying top. I feel at some point they're going to maybe want to, like after the last use, the Troll might come bottom and now just sit bottom.
Zai, Rolling Thunder, gets it off. And now can bounce off of that little cliff area there. Hits Old 11 once. Doesn't have the Javelin yet, so that is... I feel like that's the turning point in this 1v1.
Yeah, the supports are just going to go back top, so they're not going to try and do anything too quirky with the lanes. They're just going to keep it how it is for now.
I was surprised to see Zai's name up there in the most played Pango. I didn't actually realize that he had played that many.
He has pulled an absolute shift on Pango recently.
Yeah,
He's been pulling out a couple, so...
Sitting at 17 behind all the normal names that you see, like Ice and Tavo. 9-2. Only a 1,000 net worth lead. Like the kill difference is like, it seems pretty big, but the net worth difference isn't actually that large. Yapster is going to be able to get the chain stun onto Kaka here, dealing all the damage out before the spike carapace is there. Nisha tries to follow that up, but actually gets caught and forced to defensively TP. Kaka may still be caught here. Is he close enough for the toss? He's so close. The impale doesn't land either. Just that one shot from the Viper is enough to help Kaka. Oh, Kaka tried to go for the impale, but Yapster's going to go for the punish. Gets a killing spree off of it, too. And can he make it out? I think he can. He's going to TP away. There's no way they can do enough damage.
No.
Did Puppy just stop
rotation.
this one with the Hex? He TPs out as well. That is a Razor who rotated. And like sand, just all of it. Just through his fingers, he's left with nothing.
The only thing I see from this lane is like the Razor, like you're trading farm with the Monkey. The Razor naturally can then go jungle as well very quickly. I would expect the Razor just to farm us up and just not care about the game, just focus on his own game. But he's tried to recover this top lane, thinking it's gone a lot worse than it actually has. In reality, you can see the net worth's pretty equal. Kill score, again, Dota, it doesn't really matter too much as long as you're utilizing the space on the map. And I think the Razor felt this pressure.
Old 11. Trying to fly away, just play on top of this cliff as much as possible, but there's too many heroes of Secret here. Punish him.
And again, both the supports just walk there. That's a key point again. If any action happens on the map, Secret is still going to be able to get to these side lanes, so they're now just going to run around, not care about XP, they're going to get their tomes, and now you're going to have a line with Finger, you're going to get the tiny. It doesn't really matter too much about the ult on that one, but still, they're just playing really well right now.
You know, last game you were talking about how you've got two different heroes who want to farm jungle. It's the same thing here, right? Like, I've seen basically Razors now turn into the same way that Viper was playing, where you just, at some point in time, you just completely play jungle for a solid 3 or 4 minutes.
Other than this, are they actually going on here?
Well,
sure. He's just disappeared.
That's a lot of Javelin procs, and now with the Rolling Thunder, they're going to be able to get one stun, follow up Avalanche, toss combo, and Old 11 instead as well.
And this is why I don't like the Viper pick, because both of them, if they have a bad time, their comeback, it's the same place, the jungle.
Yeah.
You can't get quick kills with it. You can't do anything else on the map. Your only backup is the exact same plan, so it's a little bit worrying.
With the Thunderclap, Nisha. If they actually hit a stun here, oh no!
Watch out! Even if they hit that stun, what's the damage?
Yeah, that's true.
How's Batrider doing? I feel like the Batrider right now, I don't like the Tranquils. He needed to play his lane and then move from that with the bots and actually be able to connect into top. When they get a little bit aggressive, punish the overextension from Secret and maybe capitalize on some kills, which then leads to some towers and then etc. etc. But going Tranquils, you're asking to be very kind of static. You're asking to sit in one lane and sure you might TP, but then you're now stuck on the other side of the map. And I just don't like this on Batrider. There's not many people. I don't think I've seen Tranquils built at all, really.
No.
It's pretty much religiously drums, bots, or straight bots, and then into either BKB or a Blink or some form of that kind of combination.
I feel like it just became so uniform over the last like month or two. Everyone was running the same item builds for these Batriders. And like that, again, looks to me kind of like the way that our Razor felt like he needed to recover other people's game, is that if he just needs to focus on his own, get his big mid-game timing.
If he was doing this exact play the last 2-3 minutes instead of going top and doing all this wacky stuff, he'd have an extra, like, let's say 400 or 500 net worth at this point. He'd have farmed 2-3 rotations at the jungle, and he'd be in a very solid place. But because of this rotation, he now feels like he's on the back foot. And you don't want that against Secret, especially when also your draft is on this type of timer.
Mid one been showing up. I mean, I've been loving watching Mid one play over this last season because he's been such an aggressive mid laner, moving all over the map. Now Keen are going to try and make their big move here. Bottom lane, trying to protect Old 11. They do actually manage to survive through the Finger of Death. Sai trying to finish him up, but good juking from Old 11. Dodges another swashbuckle here. Now they've actually got the control into the Pango. He's going to fall. Mid one, though, has laid out a trap, trying to finish off some of these heroes with his Wukong's command. Boundless Strike combo does some damage, but the rest of Keen are just going to run him out of here. They're feeling good about this one. They can actually maybe chase down this Monkey King. The Viper does die to that toss, but finally the Impale finds its way onto the Monkey King to finish him off. 3 dead on the side of Secret. A great fight for them. For Keen, rather.
This is what you want to see from Keen. You want to see them leave the lane, the static laning phase they had, actually try and utilize the hero, like the fact that they have these early game heroes. And like again, the Batrider, he tanked a little bit there. He didn't do too much in that fight, but this is
okay. Yeah, he just showed up and died.
Yep. You of course you don't want to give away a tower, but in this position, I feel like it's just better just to go maybe farm up your jungle, push out mid lane, maybe play bottom. Like this tower is already pretty much gone. Like Secret are already set up there. They've played this tri-lane up here. You can assume there's wards. Of course there's not, but you can assume there should be. And I think this was just an unnecessary play from the Batrider.
And it's and I think some of that comes from the same pressured position where they want to fight bottom.
Yep.
They can't take an objective because they don't have a hero to do that. So if you can't take the objective, then you feel pressured to defend your towers. You're like, we can't give away objectives for free. We've got to at least trade, but we can't take a tower. So,
and the other side to this is also in these engagements, Nisha's always just farming, right? He's not joining. So even if Secret do get wiped by 4 and Keen maybe a couple die, it's not really objectively that good.
Yeah. Swashbuckle, Rolling Thunder is up. He's actually going to turn here. A big opportunity with that Avalanche setting him up. He's going to roll on through, finish up the Nyx Assassin.
This is a 3v4 fight, by the way.
Try and swashbuckle out. Yeah.
No, it was a 3v5 actually, because all of them came down in the end.
They were all there, and they lost to Nyx Assassin and probably won't get Zai. Oh, we tried to shield crash up into the high ground. Swashbuckle is there instead, and if they really need, there is going to be a TP out from Puppy, so they're fine.
And this is exactly the same as the last game. Secret are taking these engagements, making Keen think like they're able to actually maybe win a couple of fights, but in reality, you've got one core and maybe one support still on the other side of the map, doing something. Your Secret aren't wasting resources in these fights. Keen are over-rotating, using their ultimates, and what towers? They've got nothing. They've taken these fights, killed a couple of heroes, but Tier 1 still stands in every lane.
Yeah, and look how quickly like Secret just changed their playstyle. They lost one nasty fight. Now they're playing a little bit more in and out, not fully committing to these fights. They're willing to let Zai go.
Yep. And then before Dire can even get to this tower, I'm expecting Yapzor maybe to push it out or just sit behind the tower and then actually be able to, if they do come, get rid of the wave and then maybe juke in trees and disappear. Like it's just going to annoy them. That's all they're trying to do, is just annoy Keen. Prevent them from having this 5-man death ball that they're trying. I'm guessing
jump in, spike carapace. They're gonna try and go for Puppy here. The Wukong's command is out though. Mid-one just gonna play on top of the shrine, and that is tough for Keen to be able to force it, but they still really want to. The TP's coming in from Nisha. He's actually gonna come into this engagement and hex off onto the Nyx Assassin, preventing the impale, but Lion's already dead. Nisha, he's now been drained up, so he can't really feel super good about taking this fight until a huge swashbuckle does tons of damage to Keen. Finishes off the Batrider as well as the Nyx Assassin, stopping the TP on the Brewmaster as well. See if they can chase down Ye. He's trying to get away from them, slowed down by Nisha. One more swashbuckle up in 2 more seconds. Of course, we're going to watch Dark die as well, as there was no hope for him. It's just a question of whether or not the Razor gets hit by this next swashbuckle. Doesn't even try for it. They actually think he juked his way downwards and maybe TP'd out, but...
And do you know why this fight went so well? It's because Secret took this fight because they had the ward in top lane from the previous move. They saw the Viper was just jungling, and they knew that the Viper could not get there in time. It's a very slow hero. So Secret does not take any fights unless they know that they can either outnumber or they are out-farming the opponent. And in this position, they knew it would be a 5v4, so that's why Nisha joined the fight. They got the 3 kills, and then they continue playing on.
Jesus, Yapzor's just going for it, even with a sticky napalm on him. Playing fearlessly. Kaka. Oh, nice 2-man impale, but still so much damage from the swashbuckle. They're going to try and bring Old Chicken in. Here goes for the mech save. Doesn't get there in time. Kaka's now dead. They do manage to get the Viper Strike onto Zai, but he's already gotten away with his swashbuckle, and now the Batrider's a bit too far forward. He is super squishy too, especially with the Finger of Death, cutting him down to size. They're going to leave the Viper for last here, just bouncing him around.
The Razor and Burrow smoked up trying to connect, but it's just too late.
Yeah.
And now they might even be caught on the exit.
As they try and come in, they quickly realize, oh, that fight is lost. Now they try and get out, but I mean, you're trying to save Dark here. This is the support Brewmaster. He's gonna die. You just need to escape with your own life here, Razor, but mid-one. He's got him. Slow him down with the axes, and a toss forward there. Now we're gonna have...
Don't toss me, I'm gonna die!
Oh no, Puppy! Yapzor, why'd you do this to me?
Can we shoot just to the in the in-game camera to see their faces right now? Puppy Ivan just staring down Yapzor.
In the end, it does get the kill on the Razor, which... Did he have a streak going on? What was that puppy streak that I saw?
Yeah, Razor did have a streak.
He did have a mega kill streak, so... Alright, well that was certainly worth it.
But the
Not
XP
just
was
a
split
position.
between like 4 or 5 heroes.
True,
so
true.
yeah, it doesn't have the same value because obviously with the XP change.
Yeah.
That's why they toss Puppy in.
So he dies, so
then
it
they get
doesn't
more
split as
between
much.
5 is now 4. Oh my.
So you're saying Puppy, he pulled a Gimli there.
Yeah.
He just looked over at Yapster.
Throw
Toss
me.
me. Toss me.
Toss me, Absol, and then 4.
What? Yapster's like, what? But you'll die. Toss me.
Don't ask me these questions. Listen to me, I'm your captain.
Trying to run down Puppy here. He is very, very dead. Men went on a warding mission, as so many 5 positions do. They find themselves met with death. Nisha, this would be a much more important catch for Keen Gaming if they can actually just catch up to him. Another plasma field slow. Kaka trying to head him off at the pass here. Gets on top of him with the Vendetta. Doesn't have a ton of mana to work with. Really can't afford to miss this Impale, and he's going to be stunned out from mid one now. Stuck inside the Wukong's command. Pops the Spike Carapace. They're still looking for Nisha. Dark is going to be able to find him with the Earth Panda. Managed to get a stun out, but now he's popped his ultimate, and there's no damage to follow it up, and you can see it's just controlled. The rest of the team fight is totally secret. Unless Old Chicken come around, maybe they can turn this fight, kill the 4 position. That is going to be Tiny dead. Zai on his way out. They just don't have a whole lot of hard lockdown. Unless Kaka can somehow get an Impale somewhere in here, boundless strike onto 2, and honestly, Keens, they're just opening an opportunity as Puppy comes back in, Finger of Death up in 3 seconds time. Secret, they're just kiting them down and slowly but surely poking them until they're going to be low enough to be able to commit for a kill. That's going to be the next assassin gone. Now Nisha, who's fully healed up, can come back into play. Dark gets hit by the swashbuckle, as well as Old Chicken, who's now been impaled up. Secret are honestly just toying and teasing Keen into bad fight after bad fight.
Keen just don't have the stuns like they had in the first game. Like the first game they didn't have stuns, and this game they don't as well. Like if they want to get this catch, they need to. The Nyx, like in that situation, if he stuns the troll straight away, then maybe you can force him to use his ult at least, or you can force him back deeper into the fight. But he's allowed to just run away because of the lack of stuns.
Chilling out, managed to get the lasso, trying to pull him over the cliff here. Zai hoping to protect Puppy as best as possible. Puppy does burn out here. Zai, Kaka, gotta land this one. Oh, he doesn't get to the Impale, and he doesn't hit Yapzor in as he comes in, finishes off the Bat Rider with 1-2 punch, but now he's surrounded by heroes, and honestly, I'm not sure if Yapzor's gonna be super happy with that because he was worth about as much as that bat.
But I'm liking the way Keen's playing now. I just wish they played like this about like probably 8 or 9 minutes ago.
The way they're like kind of moving 4 or 5 man around the map.
Playing 4 or 5, running at them, forcing aggression. And here's the expert play where he dies and allows for a 3 or 4-way split. Oh, he doesn't even smart. Mid one's happy.
Mid one's happy.
Zai's happy.
Puppy's just like a stone face.
But he knew because he was doing the XP thing, so he didn't need to have emotion because he knew the calculated play. That's a lie, actually. I just feel like he's just been killed off, but we have to make him look good sometimes. So.
Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, captains are like, you know, the real carries of Dota, so...
I feel like they're actually giving a little bit too much credit. Just saying. Like, real talk. Real talk. Like, oh, what a great draft. It's actually like a 6-man effort, really. The 5 players, the coach, they're all working together pre-match and all this, and then the captain gets all the... I'm just saying.
What? I'm sorry, production, what's that? Oh, you've got Misery on the line right now? Ooh.
Oh wait, I'm fired. Oh,
you're no longer with Chaos.
Well, I enjoy this event, and then I guess I'll be done.
Well, that's why you made your way here as talent.
It's the progression.
Have to work.
It's the chaos play.
That is true.
Blitz was the coach.
Yeah.
He then got, you know, because obviously again the easy region, the veggies have got to his head. Chaos coach, and then I just haven't had the whole veggies experience yet, so then I'll complete the full trinity.
It's a good experience.
And another smoke.
Jump in, avalanche toss combo with a boundless strike on top of it, inside of Wukong's command. This is troublesome for Keen Gaming, who just need to try and get out of that area as best as possible. They lose their Bat Rider. Now trying to play in the high ground though, Puppy gets a little bit too far forward, and they manage to get the leash onto Nisha. That's going to be problematic, as in the back line though, Zai's going to try and finish up that Nyx assassin. Razor has chased down the troll, taking away all of his damage. Eventually, Nisha, his illusions actually finished up Kaka in that fight after Zai made him super low. Now, he has already stolen so much of that damage away from the troll, he's going to lay it back into Yapzor here with his fresh BKB. Secret, waiting out that BKB, now find their time to strike, but that's where the Brewmaster pops his primal split. Guarding that Razor, hoping even that Secret gets a little bit too far forward. Maybe they can get some disables.
The
But
tiny
Zai
buyback, though.
playing the game in and out with Rod of Atos. Follow-up Viper Strike onto him. Oh, they cut down the tree. That's an opportunity. Kill that Monkey King now, King. You got to get him. They're going to be able to finish him off. The Swashbuckle not landing on Yi. He's trying to stay ahead of Nisha now. Slow down Nisha as best as possible. See if you could save your Razor. The last range axe. That's going to be good enough. And now he turns on to Old Chicken with vengeance in his eyes, and the Rod of Atos instantly taken off by the Manta. They managed to get the avalanche toss onto the Viper. Now Puppy controlling up the Bat Rider, giving up his life, hoping that his team can get some extra kills, but they've actually got to get out of here with a DD Bat Rider and a fresh Nyx Assassin on the way. It's not an easy fight.
It's the story of all these fights. They start the initial jump, they get the spells, they bait the Monkey King ult expires, the Razor got a good link, but then when the brew splits, like, he's unable to get, I'm guessing you'll see it here, right? Use the brew split, but you don't get the initial tornado, and then you try and take the fight elsewhere, allowing Yapsword to get the big jump onto a Razor and all this damage out. They need to make sure when they use this split, they're splitting into a hero straight away. They're not splitting and chasing and making it really disjointed. They just need to really condense their spell usage. Because they have such few stuns, they have to make sure that, like, when they do use their big ults and big spells or whatever, it's very much like, here's the guy, here's the stun, now we kill him, move on next. Not some
Nisha
convoluted gank.
Made an error here with the whirling axes trying to farm up the jungle. Kaka got the spike carapace to lead things up, hit the impale.
Just being a little bit greedy.
Yeah, very greedy. That's 800 gold, a wicked 6 streak.
And again, even though we've said quite a lot about how Keen's like had this weird laning phase, you still have to respect that draft is this death ball. Like, if you do split up the map and make these mistakes, they are going to kill you quite easily. They might struggle taking your high ground, but they will happily kill you.
Yeah, and they're finally going to take their second tower of the game. Maybe.
I would like Kaka to maybe go for a Force and maybe a Meteor Hammer. I like the idea of Meteor Hammer just for if you do get this jump on like the Monkey, who hasn't got the BKB yet, you just get the extra CC, and also it unlocks the ability to maybe chip at towers.
Zai has been quite the problem for them when it comes to pushing towers because he's so, like, his mobility and just swashbuckling and killing a creep wave, they don't have a hero to jump and punish him when he does something like that, right? And they got the deny on the mid-tier 1 tower. That was just the second tower of the game for Keen. And in a lineup where, I mean, we should kind of preface this, right? We've been talking pretty low on Keen for most of this, and that's just because their lineup was supposed to do well in the laning phase, and they're supposed to dominate fights right now.
Exactly.
Whereas most of the time, it feels like they're just kind of going even with Secret.
I feel, yes, right now, the first 20 minutes, the kill score should be flipped right now, is how I see it. I feel Keen should be the one that they're up, but now they might be slowing down. But if anything, I think Keen potentially could do the complete opposite. They could start turning up right now if their rotations are good and they get the necessary pickoffs like they just did on the Troll.
Yeah, they're just, they may have not gotten that mid-tier 1 tower bounty, but they will claim this top tower, hopefully. Secret looking to formulate a response here. Actually going to smoke up through the hard left-hand side. Not going to try and actually go for the straight-up tower defense, but
Secret does have that defensive vision on the high ground, so they don't need to defend the tier 1. They can just take the fight at the tier 2 and just have complete control of this fight.
Wait for Keen to cut over. Oh, they found mid 1 though. He jumps into the wrong tree, straight to the back rider's hands. Now there is going to be that rolling from Zai, but with EKB out from Yi does allow them to be able to just fight inside of that, but Nisha's a little bit tougher. They didn't get the drain onto him, so Nisha's damage is going to be a little bit scary. They have to kite him for a bit, but the BKB is about to wear out, and now Keen can go back into it. The Storm Panda, they missed their Rod of Atos, but if they can get some follow-up control, Manta dodge, Nisha looking to make his way out of here, and Yapsword jumps back in. Look at that damage coming out from Zai with the Aghanim Scepter. A great hit from Kaka. That might have just saved the fight from Keen, which is looking terrible with Zai's jump inside. Try to finish off DA, doesn't actually get him, and now Secret getting cleaned up one by one if they chase down these heroes. There was a buyback from Zai, though. They have to be careful of that one. Old 11 being mindful of that one. Starts backing up. They do have the Rod of Atos. Going for Puppy here. Finger of Death laid it out. The Viper doesn't die. He gets the Guardian Graves off. Keen Gaming, can they actually fully complete this one by finishing up Nisha? Get some of the buybacks too. Puppy is bought back too. Get him. Get the Captain of Secret right now. Get these diebacks going, Keen. They lose their next assassin. Careful of Zai though. Again, all that damage. Now the Wukong's command out from mid 1. They are going to be able to finish off that Viper. They tried so hard to kill him. Finally, they do get him. Zai actually does die back here as they get out of the Wukong's command. They turn onto mid 1. Yi, got to be careful of Yapsword though. Managed to get his combo. Catches Dark and inside of it too. Mid 1 pops his BKB. They finish up Dark. The TP out from Old 11. He gets downed.
They were doing so well.
They were doing so well,
time. This was like, the entire draft was built around the idea of having these exact fights, and then they just got a little bit too Oh god, it's such a. Oh, they just got a little bit too keen. I can't.
That was terrible.
It was so good though.
You're fired.
I know. I'll enjoy my last cast, I guess. Oh. But it stands.
You know, there was so much hope.
Yeah.
Like, I almost felt like Secret was tilting with the way they were buying back.
Sure.
And, like, Puppy just, like, TP'd back in, die back for him. You know, there was eventually a die back for Zai as well. I was like, oh shit. You know, like, maybe Keen are actually going to complete it. And then, for me, it was especially the turn thinking they could kill Monkey King as well.
Yep.
Like, that was kind of rough.
But it was like they got kind of baited with the Monkey King was like half HP. He ulted, and it's like maybe we can jump into this, and it's like the illusion of people when they see the ring, they're like they don't respect it. Maybe we can kill him, and then you run like one level into the ring. You're like maybe I can't, but then you go to the second level, and then you're like maybe I can, and then you're in the middle, and you're like why am I here? What am I doing?
What have I done?
I get slapped up by 13
You know, the ring
Monkey
really
Kings.
is deceptive like that because it's just more damage the deeper you go into it. You're like, there's not that many statues. They're pretty spread out.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're everywhere.
But this is what I want to see. I want to see Keen go in again. Make sure they have one lane with them, and then go for this all-in play.
Oh, nice snag there. That is a big pickup. They can actually get him. Just get the chain stun. Make sure that Zai dies here. Good pick off for Keen Gaming.
Buyback.
And there is... I mean, they know he died back last fight. This is a full 60-second opportunity for Keen to take something. It looks like it's going to be the tier 2. Or
and now they're going to awkwardly chip at this tower.
Yeah. It's so hyped to watch Keen in fights because it's like, oh, they're doing it, doing it. And then it's like so anti-hype when they start hitting a tower and they're like, poke,
like
poke.
all the secrets dead, and the biggest fear is actually just the tower. So, I can't. The creeps are dying too quick. We can't do anything.
Like just, you know, just as an example here. Can we look back at? Oh, okay. Hold on.
Oh,
I gotta find Dark, who tries to basically suicide to pick up the bounty room, but Nisha actually got it instead. So Dark should die here with a range whirling axis in the tree.
Ooh.
Can we take a look at that mid tier 2 tower? How much health it has now?
Whoa.
So,
no, that's...
So they
Hold on.
They did 580 damage,
Is this
right?
bugged?
580 damage. You can see their total building damage here. 580 damage. That means they have to win 2 more fights at minimum just to finish off that 1 tier 2 tower. But maybe they can do it here with the BKB activated from mid 1. They're going to try and finish off Puppy right away. He's standing inside that Wukong's command just long enough to be able to finish off the line and steal a lot of that Monkey King's damage. Now Secret are trying to make the clean retreat, but it's not clean at all. It's dirty. They found Nisha. They pull him back in. He's going to be forced to pop his BKB and his battle trance soon. But here comes Zai to the rescue, trying to get the disables that allows Nisha to be able to beat onto somebody. It's going to be the Viper. He has the Guardian Greaves, but it doesn't last for long. The Boundless Strike onto 2 in the back lines. Kaka managed to land a good impale there to allow Old 11 to retreat a little bit more, but they want to go back in. They just can't without a lasso. You can't without the Viper.
It's when you make the initial jump, and then it's like you jump the troll. He still has his ultimate. He doesn't have to use it straight away, and Keen just need to when they want to make these fights, they just need to commit so hard. They need to make sure they make them sloppy. If it's like this concise fight where like Secret can kind of go around the back, Yapso can get these kind of toss combos, and then Lion can maybe get some hex off, that's when it's easy for Secret. Keen need to go to these choke points, get the better vision, and just take these terrible looking fights. That's when Keen's going to come online.
Take these terrible looking fights.
It's true.
I like the way you phrase out. Okay. Well, they got the easy initiation on the poor old Dark here. And I mean, they are. It seems like if they can take out the Brewmaster, there's not a overwhelming amount of disable left. Well, there's the lasso, and then there's Impale.
Brew's the only hero that allows him to have that kind of range catch. You know, he ults, he can then lift someone. He's got the constant stun coming from the boulder. So
this is one thing that can't happen. They cannot give an Aegis to Secret. They're going to go see if they can get a quick pick off here on a Puppy, make their way inside the pit. Yi immediately goes in, starts dealing the damage away from Nisha. Can they pick up the Aegis? They get it! Razor managed to grant it. Now get the hell out of that pit. And they're rolling. Rolling Thunder, lined up, is going to be able to hit some of these heroes, but Secret realized that they've already lost this engagement. They can't actually stick around. They gave away that Aegis to the Razor, and they just have to say that was a loss and cut it as much as possible. Meanwhile, Kaka's on the hunt here. Oh, Nisha, don't tell me you're gonna get greedy here. They actually had a Sentry Ward laid in place, but Kaka was fast with the Spike Carapace. Managed to hit the two-man stun. Old 11 running over them with the Firefly here. They have the Viper as well as the Razor just to get on top of that. Tiny tried to go for the TP out. Optimistic one. He's dead for 100 seconds.
Jesus.
That's a lot of chip damage.
That's a lot of seconds.
That's a lot of poking.
Okay, this is actually scary for Secret right now.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Like, oof,
This is maybe a lane of Rax.
You're getting a bit carried away here. You understand their building damage, right?
I mean, well,
they can swashbuckle. But
I'm saying Secret are probably going to take another fight, 4 versus 5.
Sure.
They lose that.
Yeah, it's going to be a tower at least. Towers are given.
Tower.
But you can already see the positioning of Nisha and mid one though. They are probably just going to accept this just from where they're standing.
Yeah, they're just pushing out the side lanes as much as possible. They're going to see if they can force some defensive TP rotations, which they will. Batrider hit this as much as possible. He was outside of vision. Now that he's on top of Nisha with the lasso.
Hold the lasso. Just hold it. Just annoy him. Make him feel like he's pressured into doing some random stuff.
The rest of his team is not coming back because they want to make sure they don't get caught right now. This was really smart.
Yep.
Like, normally in that situation, you see mass defensive TP rotations, but they knew if they did that, Secret would catch them. So instead, they're going to turn. They're actually going to turn, and Secret poke their heads out to try and catch somebody from Keen rotating back. They actually go, kill mid one. Now they can actually maybe kill range Rax here as well.
You've got the Tiny dead, and Nisha literally just cannot come back to this fight. The Batrider is just following him. He cannot TP.
Yeah.
So Keen are going to be able to play 4v5, or 4v3, sorry, into mid, right?
Yeah.
So it's very smart from Keen, from the Batrider especially. But I would like to see the Razor potentially get an Ag so they can actually, you know, start moving towards maybe actually taking some buildings.
Oh yeah, the Axe is the super hype building damage that they're gonna have. That is a lot of items on the Dire Courier. That is Vlad's AC. Did I see a Sange in there as well?
Yeah.
So
there's the AC then. Okay, I believe he's going Ags after the AC as well. So this looks this looks promising. I'm liking this. This is good.
If we get how many Roshans have we seen?
I believe it's one.
Just one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, eventually we'll have maybe the refresher shard Aghanims going on, but you know, it's range, but Heaven's Halberd is still very welcome against this troll. So, I mean, King Gaming, they're already winning fights before. They just got a fresh round of items. They've got the catch now to YapzOr, who tosses away that Nyx assassin, but that was long enough to stall him up. Old 11 is here, pops his BKB, and grabs, pulling YapzOr into his doom. Secret cut their losses, but they still know. I mean, from so long ago, you blew your buybacks, and it just seems to have been...
Well, that's the thing. They in the last fight, they did start using the buybacks, or the 2-3 fights ago. There's been so many fights, actually.
Yeah.
In the last series of engagements, there's been a lot of buybacks. So soon these will be coming back off cooldown. So Secret will be looking to take these fights in this position. But right now, it's mainly they want to take these like pickoffs outside the base, let Keen maybe take an out of the tower, but they're going to have these cores on the side lanes pushing out.
Yeah.
So then when the buybacks are back up, they can take these advantageous fights, utilize the better buybacks, and try and outskill them at this point.
Yeah. They do actually have it just based off of time. I was just saying more like they just keep on killing YapzOr over and over again. Like, he just is never going to have the gold for it. Good catch here onto Zai. If they can follow it up, Old 11 just going to fly through the trees here. Doesn't really need the lasso so much as he doesn't actually have it until right now. But maybe he can just keep pace with Zai, somehow chase him down.
This man's way too quick with the old beeps and all that. Now he's out of there.
But it does mean he's going to have to make the long walk of shame back home. That is where King Gaming know he can't be here right now, and that's why they're trying to play in this high ground, see if they can get a pick off. Secret are wary of that, though. They have the successful scan onto the high ground. Can we see the win percentage, by the way? I would love to see that. Look at that. That was like, what, 85% or something like that to the favor of Team Secret, and it swung almost entirely the other way. Now 75% to the favor of Keen.
I'd like to say the turning point was like the pickoff on Nisha at that top small camp.
Yeah.
And then it kind of led on to just a lot more kills. It felt like Secret maybe got relaxed. And then from that point, it was like, oh, wait, guys, we actually... Come on, guys, let's take this serious. And then Keen just started brawling.
Ward onto the high ground.
Oh,
Banging on a tier 3.
Now. Look at that tower. It's melting.
Look at those creeps going.
Yeah, they're doing all the work, actually.
Zai managed to finish up those creeps. They just want to get this tier 3 Viper. That one last shot, and Maybe a fake back. Oh, look at that. A fresh ward.
Nice.
They're doing the whole, like, oh, we were just here for a tier 3. Promise. Scout's honor. We're definitely not trying to fight for more. That's where the Batrider comes in from the side and grabs him. He grabs Zai, who's in so pesky in these team fights, dealing out so much damage. He instantly buys back. BKB's activated. This is where Keen just need to get out, cut their losses. If they lose just Kaka, it'd be fantastic. The Brewmaster pops his ultimate, trying to slow down some of these heroes for Old Chicken to make it out of here. But unfortunately, between the BKB as well as the Rolling Thunder, the Brew can do little to stop this. So the Viper's just going to get kited around. It takes a while to finish him off, but eventually he will go down. That's why the rest of the Team Secret right now, they're chasing that Brewmaster ultimate, making sure when he comes back into his Brew form, they might be able to catch him. But it looks like he ducked inside the trees and was able to get away with the TP.
I just think the way that Secret played during, like when Keen were having these really good fights and actually getting into the mid, they're pushing out the side lanes and then they wait for the buybacks, and then sure, Pango did jump in, just feed, got the buyback, and then neutralized it, got the 3 kills. And the difference is Secret after a fight, they're able to take these objectives very quickly. Keen after a good fight, it takes them a little bit more time. They need to set up properly, they need to make sure they have the right heroes there to actually damage the towers. So it's just easier for Secret to play patient and then punish Keen for their aggression. Keen's way of winning is very, I want to use the term basic, but not to that degree. It's like it's very clear. That's the better way of phrasing it.
They have to 5-ban into that high ground. And there's not an easy way for them to get out either, so they pretty much have to accept the 5 versus 6, 7, 8, you know, however many buybacks you have.
And especially even after that fight, sure, you have to use the buyback, but now you've got tier 3. Now you can take the shrines. Now you can set up for next Roshan. Now you can then potentially give the Aegis to, you probably wouldn't give it to the Pango anyway, but you can now set up the Aegis so then you don't have to use your next buyback. And now the momentum will shift back.
I'm sorry. He took the swashbuckle range.
Yeah. Why would you not?
That is actually, this is a sick game for it.
Yeah. I personally, I'm not a Pango main or anything, but I personally prefer the range over the mana. I understand.
You're high.
Well, are you trying to get me fired? Again, I know it's probably, see, look at this. Maybe no, that's not what. That's nothing actually based on what I was saying. But anyway,
yeah, I was
look
like,
at these numbers. I thought it said the range. No, but I prefer the ability to poke from a distance and do that rather than just having the spam ability. I prefer the scalability than the spam ability.
I feel you. I mean, for this game, I feel it's perfect, right? Like we were talking about how they just don't have a way to punish him whenever he's defending these towers and poking. Oh, there's the big jump in. I didn't care about the troll, but the jump in onto the Monkey King, that's massive. If they can take him out of the equation, that is going to be tough for Team Secret to be able to fight it all. As Nisha's entirely out of mana. He's just making a run for it right now with his BKB, but he can't even TP out. Poppy is just going to slow down Keen. He says, take me instead. Let my Nisha go. Let troll get home free. They both have buyback here, so Keen, this is not going to be the end game for them.
But Nisha did have to use his BKB, so these buybacks from Secret aren't going to have as much value.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to be very good to be able to save the fight, but in terms of pure raw value, it's not there.
44 to 32, it was looking pretty nasty in the first 25 minutes, which was supposed to be Keen's bread and butter with their lineup, but now at 40 minutes, they're looking at potentially taking a second lane of barracks. Jump in here from Yapsor. If Secret loses another fight like this with potential buyback coming out from mid one, we'll see if he blows
jumping the Viper though, very questionable. He took literally no damage.
Oh, now they've gone Zai. They can't afford to lose Zai here as well, as he's been impaled up and he doesn't have a buyback. They buy back on mid one. He does manage to get the balance strike. Wukong's command down, and it's a big AoE that the Viper's just not going to make it out of easily. So they do get the Viper, but honestly, Secret need more. Because they committed so many buybacks for that, but they're a little bit timid of going into that high ground area. Mid one's going to try and scout things a little bit. A good impale out from the Lion. Nisha does manage to get on top of these heroes. He's beating onto Yi as much as possible. Wants to be able to get those bashes. Doesn't get a whole lot of them. Yi is making his way out of here. And meanwhile, on the side, Yapsor does make his jump onto Kaka, but doesn't actually finish him up. And now with the BKB finished up, and Troll doesn't actually have the damage anymore. They have to leave Yapsor behind and retreat again. Another hero with no buyback. There is only mid one and Nisha, the carries of Team Secret, left alive to defend their base for at least a full minute, if not 2.
And the Viper's now connected mid. He bought back as well, knowing that this is their time to win.
And they're just like, well, we just go straight for tier 4s, right? They have no buybacks. It's going to be tough for Monkey King and Troll to fight us, I guess. Uh-oh, don't let him get backdoor protection up, though. Oh,
All
Nisha.
they have to do is protect this wave. Just Just don't.
This is easily buying them 30 seconds, if not more, if Nisha can actually continue to pull these creeps around.
Just look at top, though. They still got top. This is fine.
Oh, that's true, that's true.
They're delaying it by like 15 seconds, though, but they still got this top lane.
All right. Top lane comes back in.
Is the Razor about to... Oh, buying a death. They want to end right now.
Yeah,
this is 100% what...
Just straight up for the tower damage.
Out. But so much respect to Keen, though. Like, even though we've like kind of one-sided this, pretty much saying that like Secret have done this pretty much, like better draw, like Keen's kind of playing a bit weird what's happening. So much respect for them to actually keep the momentum, even though these
they
bad
get the
plays
lasso!
happen.
They know the heroes are just about to come back up, so they want to pick off now, they get him! Zai is now alive, but the throne is exposed. That Desolator's laying in the damage. Here comes Zai, though. He does have that Aghanim Scepter dealing out some damage, but he's already got the throne down to half health. The Rolling Thunder does manage to hit the Viper there, but they toss the Troll up in the air. They ignore the Troll, just goes for the throne, go for the back line instead, actually kill the line, kill Zai, finish him off, leave the Troll for last because that's the only hero that's left alive on Team Secret. Keen Gaming make one hell of a comeback here in Game 2. They just got absolutely trounced in Game 1. The first 20 minutes of this game looked rough, but they found a way.
They're all like, this was such a hard win, lads. Look at this. No, but in fairness, like, again, they played the first 20 minutes of the game pretty rough, but then eventually they just relied on what their draft should have done and just
fought their way to...
Yeah. But this is the Keen I like to watch. This is the Keen that done well. They're a team that they're just such an aggressive Chinese team. And again, when you put those two together, it doesn't really merge that well. But Keen, so good.
Meanwhile, on the other side of things, I mean, we saw the win percentage.
Yeah, we did.
I'm sure Puppy has a approximate win percentage in his head that's going on in that game. Yeah. He cannot be happy with the way that last game went either. So
no, I'm just happy that Keen was able to actually win this game with what they had in the first 20 minutes. Because normally, like even us, we were saying, nah, there's no way that not no way, but they shouldn't be able to come back in this game simply from how poorly they started the game. But then they just showed that you shouldn't give up in these games. Some teams are quicker to tilt and get out, but they stayed to it. They stuck to their game plan. They kept trying. Even though they did overcommit in some situations, they knew that no matter what, they were going to be able to eventually win this war of buybacks and then take the Roshans. Actually, the Snatch actually was brilliant. That's a key factor as well that we probably miss out on. The Razor coming in, out-clicking both Nisha and mid one, so good.
Absolutely massive. So many great things that Keen did in the last 20 minutes of that game to be able to pull the comeback against Team Secret.
Yeah, fantastic performance from Keen. And it was one they absolutely had to put on the board because it keeps them alive and in a chance to qualify in the top 4 spots in Group B. Likewise for Secret, actually, they still need one more game win, and that'll come tomorrow as they face off against Alliance. They just need the odd one game that'll guarantee themselves a place in the top 4. We're going to break down our final series and our final game of the night with Blitz and Pyrian Flax alongside me. Gents, a fantastic comeback from Keen. That didn't look on the cards 20 minutes in at all.
Definitely not. I thought the tri-lane worked better for Secret, and they got a lot of kills, and it looked pretty sketchy for Keen. And I was kind of thinking, are they going to have enough damage here? Because you've got Monkey, and you've got Troll, and you've got Tiny. They're going to blow people up. But this Razor Viper really shut them down, just absolutely became hard to kill. Viper does that. Razor takes all someone's damage. And then you've got Nyx and Brew played brilliantly. I thought Nyx in particular, I really thought he was a big factor in the game.
How much of this was Keen? How much was this Secret not performing well?
I mean, I thought Keen played very well. Yeah. Like, you got to give them a lot of credit. They never gave up. They kept trying to make game-winning plays. They really took it to Secret at all times. They were fearless when they went for high ground. I mean, by the way, like, the Reddit live threads, when you go back on a comeback, is one of the funniest things you can have. Like, I'm reading this. Holy blank, Secret is styling on Keen. This is a pure outclass on skill, and they make it look so easy. And someone said, do you expect any different? And it's just a lot of comments that are like, Keen's bad. And now it's like, well, they won.
Yeah.
And they looked pretty good doing it, and they were very resilient. Like, say what you will about, like, Secret Throw or whatever, but I thought that Keen played very well.
Yeah, I thought the bat was brilliant as well. Great performance.
It was.
Lots of key grabs. Really, really good. Yeah,
and it does keep them alive, Ted, in that group. Vital win for them at 2 and 5, because if they'd lost that, they're in the bottom 3, and it's looking a bit dodgy now. Now they've given them a chance. Their destiny is in their own hands, thanks to that one game win.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that no team in history has ever said, we want to go into the final series knowing that it's out of our hands.
Relying on someone else to win.
Exactly. You want it in your own hands.
Yeah, you do. And, of course, they'll be playing tomorrow against Gambit, who are also in that bottom 3 right now, knowing that a better result against Gambit, i.e. winning one game, will be enough to get them ahead of Gambit. It might not be enough to get them ahead of Alliance, depending on their result. But we'll cover all of that after this. The scoreboard on your screen, 43-45 in terms of match time between Secret and Keen. And you can see Secret came out ahead in terms of Heroes Guild, but that's never really been the case in Dota as to who is the better team in the game. Despite the fact that they split 83 kills, we are seeing, Will, a lot of kills in these games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A lot in every single game. Doesn't matter whether it's a long or a short game. We're seeing 80 plus kills in a lot of games.
Everyone has come to fight in this patch.
They have.
And that's part of the patch too, is that because all these 5-position heroes are much more effective at team fighting, you can pick some of these greedy heroes that you absolutely need the level 6 on, which just kind of speeds up the tempo of the game. Like everyone is willing to fight now.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a stat in the middle of that game, or actually not in the middle of the game, after 6 minutes. I think the stat was something like Yapshaw has more kills than any other single player at that point in game. At this tournament, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
6 kills after 8 minutes on one player.
Yep.
So it is very quick, Ted. That makes very exciting games for us to watch.
It does. I love it. I've always liked the fighty patches, and I think that's what you want to see from Dota. You want to see big team fights. You want to see big plays. You don't want to see split push. I mean, I'm partial to some. I'm not saying it doesn't win games, but it's not as exciting. No one looks at highlight reels just for someone calmly split pushing a tower.
Dude, I'm just happy that we don't get the whole, methodical. Let's take a tower back off.
Yeah,
let's take a stride back off. Let's take one Rax back off. Let's take the other Rax back off.
It's continual.
Those games are like.
Yeah, they're tough.
Yeah,
tough. I mean, with the way
fight.
It is, and the way the players use buybacks now with the shrines, they can TP straight back into a fight. Especially at Roche, you see that a lot. With the way Roche has changed, I think you'll see it even more. Is like a huge fight, buy back to the shrine, you're straight in.
I mean, there was a couple of those in that game, wasn't there? And actually, Keen didn't play that one particularly well. Secret. You could see they were going to buy back in straight away after losing 3 men, and then the team wiped Keen. So it wasn't flawless. Will there were a few mistakes here and there.
That cycle, I don't really even know who that quite benefited. Like, even though Secret ended up, like, obviously they had heroes left at the end of it, like, they had to use, like, every single buyback. And I don't know if Keen was really displeased by that. Because, like, the overall net gold change might
But they could have backed off after they won that team fight and kept everyone alive.
But imagine if you've both basically wiped each other, but one of you was brought back to do it.
And then the other team still left with the
Yeah.
I guess that's how they felt about it, wasn't it?
I mean, it worked out in their favor, so.
Yeah, they won, Paul. FYI.
so we're not allowed to criticise them now?
Not at all.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, I've not read the script.
I knew they'd win all along. So.
It's a tough result for Secret. It doesn't matter too much in the context of the group stage, though, Will. They can still go through. Destiny's in their own hands. One game win against Alliance is absolutely fine, and it guarantees them a spot in the next round.
I think because of how the other series went, they should be okay. Regardless.
Okay, well, we'll have to check that out before the end of the show. Before we get there, though, we're going to hear some words from Old Chicken, who's with Shiva.
Thanks, Paul. I'm here with Old Chicken, and that second game was crazy. If you compare that first game to game 2, it was an entirely different team that we were watching. It's crazy. What allowed you guys to change up your playstyle and play like that?
第一场跟第二场打得很不同，第二场很激烈，很像是看另外一个队在打。你们调整了什么去赢这一场啊？
我们就是尽力打好我们自己的吧，就是这样。然后没有被第一把实力所影响，就这样。
So we just try our very best to win this match, and also we just don't let our first game to hinder us.
Well, you could definitely tell that. You guys had a last big Viper. For a couple of our analysts came a little bit out of the blue. Some had it, of course, covered. But what made Viper for you the best hero for the game?
我们在看的时候，就是挺惊奇，就是你会选择 Viper 这个英雄，就是为什么你会选呢？
就是感觉我这个英雄打对面的阵容比较好用，然后就选择。
So I think this hero works best for the team, so that's why I picked it at the end.
I do also have to mention the first game because it was such a fast game, 20-minute loss for you guys. Why do you think it got out of control so fast?
第一场只有大概20分钟的比赛，很快的就输了。你觉得是什么原因让你们这么快的？
感觉我们的阵容打对面的阵容不是很好打，这样，然后我们对线也没有取得足够的优势。
So we think that our team didn't really work well with that match, and also, yeah, it just didn't really work well.
All right, well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me, and of course, good luck tomorrow, and we are going to head back to the panel.
Thank you very much. Yes, Soul Chicken, congratulations to him and to Keen for winning their last game and keeping their dreams of getting out of Group B alive. It's looking very close down there, actually, with some of the other results coming in. By the way, congratulations to Evil Geniuses, 8-0. What a performance that is. I mean, great team anyway, and we know that from the major, but to come here on a brand new patch and be 8-0 in that group?
They've looked good. They've looked really good. Very confident, very comfortable. But they're picking heroes that they want to play. Like we saw that in the first day. They're picking heroes and like, well, we're just going to play this. This is what we're happy. What do you want to play? I'll play this. And I think they look confident and calm, and they seem really relaxed when you see them walking around. They seem like they're having a good time.
Absolutely. Let's pick out an MVP, gents.
My boy Yi.
Your boy Yi.
I voted him for
Mr. One, Mr. Double Dash.
For ESL Mumbai.
Yes,
and,
I did too.
He was absolutely dominant. I feel like he 24 and 12. Like even when his team was getting crushed in the laning phase, my man was still getting mega kill streaks. He was making stuff happen on the map. He was the frontliner. He made Razor, the least flashy hero in Dota, look very flashy.
He did. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he also did the interview as well. Even though I was told it was Old Chicken doing it.
Yeah, that was
but that's how good he was. He was even able to do an impersonation of Old Chicken whilst not actually being Old Chicken.
Perfect.
So he definitely deserves the MVP. Who's your MVP so far in this tournament?
Jeez, I don't think I can pick one from the group stage so far, honestly. I mean,
it's early, I know, but is there anyone stood out a lot for you? Has Smile not stood out?
I'd say Paparazzi, and I would say maybe S4.
I think Boxy stood out for me for Alliance. He looked really good.
Okay.
I like him, but yeah, other than that, I couldn't really pick one yet that I'm like, this is the guy.
All right. Well, some people have been picking their MVP. The MVP by Mercedes-Benz, which you can also contribute to. These are the top three right now. Boxy, 3-3, and Army.
Wow.
Not in any particular order. Those are the top three. You can actually go to the website right now and place your vote on the Mercedes-Benz MVP should you wish to do so at this early stage. We'll take your votes. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. No problem at all. You can go and do it if you want, or you can wait a few days. Totally up to you. But do make sure you vote at some point this week. Link on your screen right now. Make sure you've bookmarked it if you're not going to vote right now, and we'll accept your vote a little bit later on in the week. Gents, it's been another fine day of fine Dota 2.
It has.
A lot. I'm not going to say not the highest quality, because that would suggest that I'm being disrespectful, and I don't want to do that. But it's messy sometimes when we've got a new patch, and it's a bit crazy and a bit like blooming heck, what's going on? But that's also really fun. I mean, averaging like something like 40 to 50 kills on a team at the moment.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's very good Dota, I think. Like, it might not be the highest level yet because the patch hasn't quite been figured out, but it's at least very fun. Everyone's just running at each other. How can you hate that?
Yeah, saw a couple of great games on the other streams as well. It's been fantastic on ours. Alliance, shout out to them as well by picking up a 2-0 win today against PSG LGD. That's fantastic result.
Amazing result.
Unfortunately, went down 2-0 to EG, so it's very tough for them to get out of the group. They're going to have to win 2-0 against Secret tomorrow.
I think they have a shot.
But we wouldn't rule it out after that first game today, would we? Yeah, it's been a fun day. What's been the highlight, Will?
Probably the Alliance 2 over PSG LGD. I mean, that was a game that I casted too, and
it was crazy.
It was so unlikely.
Yeah.
For my opinion, like I was like, oh man, Alliance is 0-4. Now they're really running into the meat grinder of things, and they dominated them.
Yeah.
And even in the games, I was able to catch like half the game that they played against EG.
They should have won the first game.
Yeah, I think so too. So it looks like, I mean, everyone came here to play at the very least. No free wins.
Absolutely. No, it's been a tough competition. Thank you very much, gents.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to ESL One Birmingham day number 2. But that is it from our coverage today. All 4 rounds completed once more. We've moved very close to finding out who's moving on from the group stages. And tomorrow, we will wrap up those group stages and find 8 teams moving on to our bracket stage. We'll see you then.